Afternoon, I'm Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times. It's Tuesday, November 11th, Veterans Day. And in honor of Veterans Day, I wanted to remember my two favorite Armory veterans, my mom and dad, Britton and Betty Brantley. You might see my mom's picture. She was a fighting dietitian in World War II. I've got a picture of her in a Jeep in India. She met my dad in India when both were serving in the China-Burma-India theater. Without them, there wouldn't be me. So if you got anybody to blame, blame them. But I remember fondly them and their talk of their service in the war and how much it meant to them and everybody else. And the GI Bill sent my dad to college, so thanks for that too. On to more serious current topics. Money came up today. There's an interesting article that I posted on the Arkansas blog about the bill coming due in Kansas. You may know that Governor Sam Brownback, the Republican, pushed through a giant income tax cut there that he said was going to produce incredible prosperity to Kansas. What it's produced is a budget debacle. The state has to come up with $700 million in budget cuts over the next 2 years to balance the budget. The great prosperity didn't follow. Democrats say he lied to get reelected, but get reelected he did. I bring this up because this is also an issue for Asa Hutchinson. The new Republican governor of Arkansas will take office in January. He promised a big income tax cut too, and we've got one scheduled to take effect even before he comes into office. We've got a lot of bills, schools, prisons, and other needs. The lingering question of the private option faces him as well. I've had Republican consultants tell me that despite what Asa Hutchinson said he was going to do quickly during the campaign, he will have to move more slowly. We all know candidates overpromise. The reality is he's going to have to slow down if the budget is to be balanced. And if the private option falls apart, then we really have heck to pay. He has gotten busy. Senator Michael Lamoureux left his Senate seat yesterday so he could get right to work as Hutchinson's new chief of staff. And Lamoureux's a good hand and a steady hand, and I think will be a part of a potential solution for the legislature as it moves ahead with a new Republican majority. His departure does raise some central questions about one of the most interesting issues of the day, and that's the implementation of Issue 3, the amendment voters approved, which imposes stricter ethics standards and provides a way for pay raises for state legislators. Lamoureux, as Senate President pro tem, was supposed to appoint 2 members of the Pay Commission, for example. We now have no Senate President pro tem. That commission has to get to work in 30 days, according to the terms of the amendment. Got some questions yet to be answered on how that's going to work. The funniest thing is how lobbyists are scrambling like crazy. They can't leave an open tab for breakfast for lawmakers anymore. What, somebody doesn't pay for your breakfast every morning like legislators get out at the Capitol? They're worried about not being able to have social events like they've had in the past. Corporate contributions are going to be limited. They're madly looking for loopholes. This has to happen. Believers in ethics reform are going to have to be lobbying the Ethics Commission strongly day in and day out to prevent the legislature and the corporate lobby from watering down these rules. This is what the voters want. They should get it. In Little Rock last night, the city board of directors groused a lot about Uber, the car service beginning operations for free in Little Rock last week, even though it didn't have a permit to operate, but it clearly is going to move ahead and give this company just about anything it wants. You'll find on my website today a copy of the proposed ordinance under which they will operate. It includes changes made, most of them to satisfy Uber over insurance requirements. Another small item on the blog today, I urge you to take a look at it. It might not apply to you, but it's people in the Helena School District who are not happy with the State Education Department, which has struck a deal or is about to strike a deal to sell off school district property to KIPP, the much lauded charter school that also operates in Helena. They're going to get a bargain bunch of facilities that local taxpayers pay for to compete against a school district that somewhat has its hands tied behind its back against KIPP. KIPP can decide who it accepts. It can set rules that other families may not want to follow. It can get rid of students who don't meet their terms. Local school districts don't have that freedom, and now they're going to give KIPP some free buildings. I think we're going to see more of this, not less. Eventually, some of this is going to happen in the Little Rock School District, and it's going to bear watching on whether local taxpayers and local schools get favored or whether these new outsiders at charter schools who enjoy immense financial backing from such powerful people as the Walton family, if they will come out ahead. Another interesting item on the blog today, Arkansas Baptist High School is raising money by auctioning off raffle tickets to a Glock and a concealed carry permit. Some parents sent me a note about this. They're a little discomfited by the notion of a school selling guns. My own question is, what are the Baptists doing having a raffle? I thought they didn't believe in gambling. Finally, there's a very interesting piece from Judge Wendell Griffin, the circuit judge. He's a black man, and he's commenting very critically about another black man, the police chief of Little Rock, Kenton Buckner and some comments he made at a public forum that was about police relations with the black community. Judge Griffin takes great exception to what Buckner said about whether there's an existing review procedure when police use deadly force. There is not. The police chief said incorrectly that the civil service works in that manner. It only reviews disciplinary procedures in the department. And the judge also, it's kind of interesting, said that the chief just doesn't get it about racial sensitivity, which is somewhat interesting about a black man versus a black man and their cultural awareness. But I'd urge you to read the article and see what you think. It spurred up quite a bit of commentary on our website and on our Facebook page. That's it for Veterans Day. Hats off to the veterans. I'm Max Brantley.